Good morning, lovely people. So welcome again to another day of inspection. So let's take our time with this hive now, guys. Most of them should have moved down. Alright guys, so let's go. Get down, get down, get down. I want to see how you guys are building in here. Alright, so she has built out this comb entirely. And I hope you guys can see this. On that side, full comb of brood. Yes. I'm going to rest this outside here just to give myself some space inside. Alright, and I already have a few that is around me. Alright guys, so for this inspection I just really want to see how she's building out. I actually see her on this comb. I'm gonna try and show you guys her. Hopefully, can you spot the queen? See her? Yes, ma'am. So she's on this comb, guys, and she's laying quite nice frames of brood in this colony. This was a fresh set of foundation I had given them, and they built it out completely. So that's nice signs. Just gonna check this last one, guys, because I don't need to check the rest. I don't need to check the other one in the corner. I just want to see how this one looks, because this was also a foundation, guys. So they've completely built out all the foundations that I've given them. I'm seeing where they have food stores and everything, nectar, honey. I really just wanted to see from the top section how they built out the foundations that I gave them, and from the look of it, every single foundation, the two that I gave them up top here, is built out basically 100%. Alright, so what I'm going to do now is I need to actually look in the bottom section of this hive. I want to see if they have actually started building out the comb or the frames below this section. Alright, which would be the box at the bottom, the 5 frame at the bottom. You guys remember why we smoke them? The smoke acts as a distraction, guys. It gives them a false sense that there's fire. So what they'll basically do when there's fire is they will start eating up the storage of honey and nectar that they have in preparation to move and find a new home. That's really what happens when you smoke them. So it keeps them occupied in that sense, as well as the smoke tends to mask any alarm pheromones that they release. So those are basically the reasons or rationale behind the smoke. So I'm not seeing any sign that they're building out down here, guys. One thing I could do is for this is to take 2 of the frames from the top that are built out already, put them below, and then move 2 of the empty frames with just the foundation to the top section. That's what I could do with this hive, guys. To kind of give them a sense now that they can actually build down and move up and down better in the hive. But I'm not gonna do that yet. I think probably in the next inspection I'll do that. Right now I'm trying to stick wholeheartedly to the experiment that I'm running to see if they'll just naturally move down in the hive. Alright, so I'm gonna leave it for probably the next 2 weeks and see how. Then after that, then I assess it. If they haven't moved down at all, then I'll do that switch up and basically It's called a checkerboarding process, so I'll probably do that. Alright guys, so the next one I'm going to look at is basically number one. Oh, they seem to have some decent rim of nectar and honey at the top of the frame, guys. That's a nice sign. When you come into the hive and you see they have that puffy top, you know, let me give you guys a glimpse of what I'm talking about. So normally, I don't know if you guys can see down in the hive, the frames, if you look at the side, like between the spaces between the frames, you see how the comb is kind of built out. The only part of frames that build out like that is anywhere nectar and honey is. Yeah? Oops. Coming out at me, go back inside. So let's see how this frame here looks. Alright, so they built this out quite decently. I'm wondering what's happening with this frame. So they have brood out here, guys, on this side. There's a decent patch of empty in the middle. I don't know what's happening there. She probably don't reach back to this frame to lay, or she probably moved down to the bottom. Alright, so this is a nice frame of brood, guys. These are the frames I'm kind of looking for in a colony. All built out to the bottom. Yeah, that's what I like to see, guys. So this queen has been doing tremendously well, it seems, and I would expect her to, because I really gave her a boost of bees when I merged this colony. I merged a swarm with number one, because number one never had a queen and I just never wanted to even bother try to make a new queen. So I just merged them. So a nice frame of brood again, guys. This is nice. I love to see this. And I can tell you the other frame, I'm not gonna pull out the other frame. The frame is built all the way. The other frame is built all the way to the bottom as well, guys. So what I want to see now is the bottom box. Oh, this is a pollen frame, guys. This frame is packed with pollen. Like, the queen would never have any space in this frame to lay. Yeah, all of these frames, guys, is jam-packed with pollen. Let's go, guys. The next hive I'm going to look at is this other swarm queen that I have here. These two frames are basically taken from number 6 to kind of take a little of the strength away from them when they were showing signs of swarming. And I basically put it at the top here, and what they're basically doing is storing nectar up here, guys. So that's all it seems. I see a little bit of patch. Oh, she actually crossed the line and came up here now, guys, and laid. Yeah, man, that's good. Alright, guys, so let's give you guys a little summary of what took place today. Um, First hive I went into was basically number 12. I just wanted to check if how the queen is doing, how they're built out on the foundation strips that I gave them, and if they even at all moved down the second layer of that hive, right? Because number 12 is basically a 5 frame hive with 2 layers, right? And currently the brood section of the hive is at the top. That's where the queen is laying predominantly. Upon inspection, there's no sign that they're building below. So what I'm thinking of doing is I'm going to give them at least about 2 weeks more, and to see if they make any changes in that kind of maintenance of the hive. If not, after 2 weeks, then I might do some other strategies to see if I can improve the brood section of the colony. All right. The next one I looked into was hive number 3. Now the queen is laying all right in there. Not not too pleased with the kind of progress it has made, because it was one of the splits I had made early January, and actually I made one of the March split from that hive as well. So, but the original queen was there. I was kind of expecting that she would have been at a similar strength to number 4, which is beside it, because they were both 2 hives that I made the splits from in March, right? But she's not that hive. Number 3 isn't at that strength as yet. I think that hive has about probably 5 or 6 frames of brood in there, but no signs of moving into the top super section that I added. There's frames at the deep section that are not 100% built as yet, so she has definitely enough room. I'm seeing food supplies in there in terms of pollen, nectar, and capped honey in there as well. So they have that kind of strength in there to build out, but I'm not seeing that kind of build out that I would want to. But hopefully it picks up in coming months. Alright, so the next one we looked at is hive number 1. And again, hive number 1 is I'm running the style of having 5 frame boxes, 2 layers, right? So again, the brood section is in the top. No signs that they're really building down or laying in the bottom section of the box. And it is in a better position than hive number 12, in the sense that the frames at the bottom of this box are basically built out, right? So I would have expected the queen to kind of drift below already and started laying, but no signs of that happening. For the frames that are below in the bottom box, I'm basically seeing a lot of pollen in it. So I know with that level of pollen in the colony, I know that a lot of brood will start, the queen will start creating a lot of brood and laying a little bit more once there's pollen to supplement that kind of activity. So I'm not worried, but I really was hoping that she would have started laying in the bottom already, but no signs yet. Like number 12, I'm going to leave that for 2 weeks. Next one I went into is number 11 there, which is a swarm queen. To me, she's doing quite fine. I'm seeing where she has actually gone up and laid into the top section of the box. So I'm not worried in terms of that. So that box actually had, I gave it some frames from number 6, which was already built out. Initially they were storing like nectar and stuff in there, but right now it seems as if the queen has basically crossed that bridge and started laying in the top as well. And that's what I wanted hive number 12 and 1 to do, but it seems as if they're not doing that. So what I gather from seeing the three different perspectives. Is that for hive number 11, the brood center, or the brood section of that 5-frame double layer setup, was at the bottom, right? And she moved up and started laying. Note, the other ones, the brood section is at the top and they haven't moved down at all. So giving all three 2 more weeks to assess that behavior to see if it move, and if there's no change, I will try to manipulate the hive to best suit that kind of setup I want. Alright, so more than likely what will happen is I'll take the brood, most of the brood section from the top of 12 and 1 and put it to the bottom section and let them move up that way. Alright, so another hive I checked on was number 2, just to see. I was thinking that the queen cell would have hatched probably about today, but apparently it hasn't. It's still there. They haven't broken it down as yet. The dark section at the top has increased in its texture, so I know for sure it should hatch probably later tonight or sometime tomorrow. Alright, so hopefully by what I might do is I might check on the hive next weekend, about Saturday or Friday, just to see if the queen has hatched and if I can find her in there. But if it is unsuccessful in that regard, I will have to try and pull one of the frames from one of these hives and give them a frame with young larvae and eggs so they can produce another queen cell and hopefully a new queen. Alright, so the final hive that I went through now is number 8. I put a shallow layer at the top, and I put a shallow layer at the below the deep section. Not seeing where they have moved to the bottom at all. I was kind of hoping that a strong flow would have come about, and that would probably give me a better sense of how this experiment is going. But even without that strong nectar source, they're actually building in the top shallow section. So to me, that's kind of giving me the sense that they want to build upwards. That's what I'm seeing based on the observation so far. Hive number 12 and 1, they have not even moved up. Sorry, they have not even moved down into the bottom section. Hive number 11, which was at the bottom, has moved up. And then number 8 now, which is somewhat of a control scenario where I give it space up above and below the brood section, has not even moved down. It started moving upwards. So I don't know, guys. I'm going to watch it a little bit more, and that will give me a better sense of what they're going to do in the future. But as I said, their behavior can change depending on the kind of nectar flow. In terms of how many stuff is blooming, it can change their behavior a lot. So thanks for watching. I really do appreciate all the views and all the likes and all the comments, and keep on watching, guys. I'll try to maintain the video output of the experiences in the apiary here in the back of the yard, and basically try to improve on the content that you're getting. But it's really just to show you the experiences and the experiments that I'm running, and to see the kind of behavior of the bees. Alright, so enjoy your weekend and peace out.